career 4-hit game in the postseason. After struggling at the beginning of these playoffs, how have you turned it around to find your groove?
A lot of prayer, a lot of work. I mean, that's really it. And my teammates really putting confidence in me, believing in me. And, I mean, I guess that's it. That's it, really.
Yesterday it was the bottom of the lineup. Today it's the top. How important is depth to this lineup?
I mean, I think depth in general is super important. But it's really good. You know, our lineup is deep. Our pitching's deep. Play good defense. You know, we got a good ball club, and it's just a matter of putting it together every day.
Oh, you're putting together some great at-bats. You guys have 32 walks over the first 4 games in this series. What does this lineup do to put pressure on the opposing pitchers?
I mean, we're just really good at having a plan and staying diligent to the plan. You know, and whether it's wrong or right, it doesn't really matter. Having a plan is super important, and we've done a good job in following it so far.
You guys can lock up a World Series appearance tomorrow night. What does this team need to do to close out this series?
Just play the game. Just play the game. Don't put any extra pressure. There's already enough as it is. I mean, just come, have fun, play the game, come intense. We know that they're going to come ready for tomorrow, but we are too.
We talked last night about the impact of Ohtani, and it's felt again with that leadoff homer. But, I mean, I said to you as we were getting ready to come on, man, they're flexing their muscles. When you've got Betts behind him and that bat, that MVP bat, you're shaking your head. What are you supposed to do against that, Xavier?
I don't know. I mean, the discipline that this Dodgers team has shown us all this postseason, you look at the 32 walks they've already taken in this series, but also the 9 walks they took today. They're such focused at bats, and specifically at the top of the order was Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts. 5 for 9 between the two of them, 5 RBIs, 7 runs. What they do is wear pitchers down by getting their pitch. They're not going to go outside of their zone. They're not going to expand. And it's not just those two. It's the whole lineup that's now contributing in a major way.
It's really interesting to me. I talked to Dave Roberts back in the winter, right? And this was a team that couldn't do anything about everything people said about them until now. They had to get through it and get to the playoffs. And then they took some punches, man, from the Padres. I almost wonder, like a boxer that survived a round, if that's not what freed them up. Like, it's not house money, right? They got to win a World Series, but they don't look like they feel pressure right now. Do you?
It makes sense to me because I look at what they've done from a pitching standpoint. You think about a team that came in with so many question marks with their pitching staff. All of that makes sense because they've been able to get results. They've been able to turn the page and get things done in which we didn't necessarily expect. You look at Freddie Freeman. This is a guy that didn't even play today, and they're still out there producing with the MVP caliber players that they have. Everybody has an extreme focus right now. I look at Kike Hernandez, another guy that looks like a postseason guy right now, but it's just a part of the plan for them, and they're not going outside of their plan from a pitching standpoint. Defensively, they look great, and offensively, they look otherworldly.
Unfortunately, these games keep going so late that are up against me having to say goodbye. In a quick 30 seconds, for Cleveland to absorb not 1 but 2 homers that Clase gives up to who he gave them up to, Judge and Stanton, and to shake that off, what's that say to you about the Guardian squad?
It's an unreal bounce back. It's the ability to attack while you've been knocked out, right? You come back up and you're able to do it with guys that weren't even in the game, first and foremost. You think about David Fry. You think about Noel came into this game, and Bo Naylor, a guy that contributed there in the last inning. Guys that hadn't had a whole lot of success, they found a way to get it done in the very last moments. That gives you momentum moving forward, SVP.
Yeah, 2-1 is a hell of a lot different than 3-0, obviously, but what a game that was in Cleveland. Xavier, I appreciate your time. We'll do it again, all right?
Appreciate you.
It was a moose shot.
If it was in San Francisco, it would have been in the Bay.
Or Colorado. It would have been in the next state over, right? These two teams have really traded blowouts through the first 3 games.
Well, first of all, the 7-3 game, number 2, wasn't really a blowout, even though the Mets had a comfortable cushion. But they got annihilated in game 1. They got annihilated last night. Here's my problem with the New York Mets. Last night, they looked scared. Now, understand what the Dodgers do to you. The Dodgers are a very, very smart offensive team. They do not swing at balls. They make you throw strikes. And so what happens is if you don't get ahead in the count, you can't get them to swing at anything. They'll take their time. They'll wait. They'll make you throw 100 pitches or whatever it takes. They will wait patiently for you to throw balls that they can hit. And Severino last night looked shook because he did not want to throw strikes. And they just waited and waited and waited. I don't like that at all. It's just one game, but the Mets better be better than this if they're going to have a shot at winning this series, because the Dodgers are clearly the better team, and the Mets are going to have to rise to the occasion in order to win this series.
Ohtani's so good. If you see that stat on your screen, that dude hits bombs with runners.
No doubt.
Alex Rodriguez and this Dodger team just clobbering the Mets again. I mean, 3 8-run victories, so impressive. And Alex, I mean, there's so many ways you can go here, but their approach has been so evident, right? I mean, they're taking 1 million walks. They've got the most walks in the first 4 games of a series ever. They're hitting home run. They're doing it all offensively.
Look, I mean, I've called them an offensive bully. Here comes the man of the hour.
Forget that. Forget
timing.
that. Mondo! Mookie's coming over to join us. Mookie Betts, what a night for him. As he will come and join the set once again.
Fire, fire.
Move this over. We're getting them all situated here. What's up, Mook? How you doing, man? Congrats. Good to see you again. As we'll get Mookie all seated and get him ready to go on a rousing Dodger victory, 10-2 tonight. Mookie's a frequent guest on the program, frequent friend of the program. You know, Mookie, you look very relaxed, and your guy's got like 17 layers on right now. What's happening?
That's a Dominican thing, boy.
I guess, yeah. You done been out of Boston too long, so
You already know.
You don't know.
Getting old, man.
Hey, Mookie, first of all, congrats on the win. Good to see you again. We just started talking about, obviously, a great performance, but just, it's not anything new, but maybe to a lot of the audience tuning into the playoffs for the first time, your overall approach as a team has been so good. I mean, getting on base, walking, home runs, everything. What's been the biggest key for you just team-wide this season, this series, excuse me?
I think really in general, we have a good plan. Our scouts, coaches, they do a really good job in preparing us, giving us really good information. And as a team, we trust each other, we trust them, and we just, whether the plan's wrong or right, we stick to it no matter what. And, it's been working so far.
Okay, it's been crazy. First of all, congrats on another amazing night. You guys are incredible to watch. You're the most. I've talked about it all October. The combination of power and discipline, 31 walks in 4 games is unreal. And for you personally, a little bit of the whispers early on with the struggles. You talked to my man Poppy. Tonight, another big night, 4 for 6 with a bomb, ribbies, everything. How good does that feel for you?
It feels great. It feels great to know I can do it at this time. During the season, you play so many games, and you have some games like this. But when it's crunch time, it's good to come through for the boys, man, because they come through for me so much, and pitching's been amazing. I mean, so just to have a good game and get a dub, that's always huge.
Congratulations on the big win, homie. What is about this Dodgers team that you guys have an MVP out of the lineup in October, and you guys, look at what you guys did tonight without Freddie. How deep is this team when it comes down to batters?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about that. We got a really good club, man. The front office puts a really good product on the field every day. Like I said, we trust each other, and this is the second game we won without Freddie, so maybe Freddie need to not play anymore.
Bench him!
Preach!
Oh, man.
We had talked about before the game, right? You come into this series, and you're up now 3-1. And really, you're getting contributions from 1 through 9. Everyone in the lineup reached base safely today. And we said the top 3, the 3 MVPs, really haven't had to carry the load. Until tonight, you guys did it. So that's a testament to how deep you are. But the question I have for you, your last at bat where you're trying to hit a triple, man, tell the truth.
You know what?
Tell the truth.
I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, Mook? You got 4 today. I don't know how you got 4 today. You need to just keep doing the same thing. And it didn't work, so I shouldn't even thought about it. I jinxed myself, man. Golly, but it is what it is. I mean, we had a good game, so I'm just happy.
Hey, Mook, it feels like months ago, but just about a week or so ago, you guys were down 2-1 to San Diego, on the verge of going home with 1 more loss. What was the thing that flipped the switch? Because you guys are looking like potential champions really quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I really think just believing in each other and showing up and not really changing. Even when we were down 1 or 2 games to 1 there, that day was a normal day. Nobody was pressing. Nobody was trying to do more. We were laughing during BP. We were laughing in the cage. We were still going about our business, of course, but we were still like loose and chill about it. We know what the task at hand we had, and since then it's really been kind of the same thing, just loose, enjoying it, and understanding that when the game starts, we know what we need to do. But it's hard to really like stay emotional all day, So we kind of just have fun during BP and we save all the emotions for the game.
Hey, little homie. I got a question for you. Tomorrow, how you guys gonna beat the Mets? Because I really need some day off, bro.
I don't know, man. We know that they're gonna come back ready to go. Lindor's probably gonna have a nice speech and get them boys ready to go. But we will too. We'll be ready to come throw some haymakers tomorrow.
I need some day off, so
Poppy,
do your speech.
Poppy, by the way, Mookie told Chuck that he'll come on as long as you don't give him another one of those T-shirts.
I know. He made me run out of it. He's here every night, my dog.
Mookie Betts, a huge night for him and the Dodgers. Don't worry, we'll get you another T-shirt on the DL. We'll slide it in. It's okay.
Here, give it to Uncle.
Mookie, congrats again, man. We'll see you. All right, appreciate you. Another big win. Great performance tonight.
I feel like,
I love
man,
it,
you guys got nice jackets up here, man.
It's cool out here, man. Look at Bobby.
Oh, what a night for Mookie. Good to see you. As always, there you go. And really, it got going early, and we talk about him. Let's talk about his performance tonight. Derek, I go back to this in the San Diego series as the Mookie chants here at Citi Field. San Diego series, I remember we were talking, and we say, hey, what's going on with Mookie? What do you see? And you say, well, I went and watched the tape, and there's not a stinking thing different or wrong with him.
9 hours of tape. 9 hours of tape.
9 hours of tape. So yeah. I guess you were right, because he has been on a tear since then.
A lot of times, I've said it before, the gift and the curse of the postseason. If you get hits, everyone talks about how hot you are. If you go through a bad couple games, they will start talking about how cold you are and how you're not producing. And sometimes you can talk yourself into a slump. The results aren't there, and then you start to try to change things. I give Mookie credit. He didn't change anything. He went out, he started to relax. He got a hit, and then he's been rolling ever since.
This guy's a student of the game. And I told him straight up, you need to go out there and have fun. When you have that smile on your face, when you are going the way you like to go, it's when even the fans feel you. You know what I'm saying? Mookie is that type of player. This guy never, it doesn't matter if he's struggling or he's going good. He always, you can see that he always like to put that pressure on the opposition. And that's why I'm not surprised the way he's going right now, because that's him. That's the player that we know.
Poppy and G, one thing that, KB, that we don't talk about enough is October baseball is fun, but it's also hard. And you've seen a lot of meltdowns. By the way, I've been part of someone that's been meltdown in October, but one thing that we don't talk about is experience, and experience matters. He makes it sound easy, Kevin, about being down 2-1 on the verge of going home. Nothing changes. Well, nothing changes because he played with Poppy in Boston. He has experience. He's won a championship. Experience matters this time of year.
Great point.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, obviously, you think about that 1-2 punch and Shohei and Mookie. Ohtani scored 4 runs. All right, you think about what they did. How about this? I mean, 5 for 9, couple home runs. Ohtani led off the game for them with a home run, kind of set the tone. 5 RBI, 7 runs scored by the top 2 in that order. And for the Mets, it was really the complete opposite. But they are, something happened, after that Tatis grand slam in San Diego, Game 3. They put up 6 runs, 6-5. You're like, oh, man, Padres win that game 6-5. They hang on. And then ever since, the Dodgers have just been a runaway freight train. It's like they woke them up somehow, and they've been unstoppable since.
Again, it's upsetting to me, Kevin, how every time the Dodgers are on the verge of losing, Dave Roberts' name comes up about maybe getting fired or whatnot. Let's give Dave Roberts a lot of credit, because you need a captain of the ship when things are going a little bit crazy to say, hey, fellas, you know what? One game at a time. Let's keep it loose. Mookie's loose because the captain of the ship is loose, and that name is Dave Roberts.
Yeah, and the Dodgers weren't flustered by that. They're down 2-1, but the thing with the Los Angeles Dodgers, they're not happy being in the National League Championship Series. they expect to win a World Series. So when they were down 2, it's just like, hey, it's another game. We need to win tonight. We'll get them tomorrow. Poppy's old phrase, I don't even know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is not today. Is tomorrow. But the point is, they've been here before. Yes, they haven't had the success, but they've been here before, and they're hungry. You can tell when they celebrated after they beat San Diego, everyone was saying in the clubhouse how everyone doubted them, right? Everyone counted them out. Well, they took it personal, and it's showing now.
For people watching at home, I'm going to show you what the unicorn is all about. Let's play that video from Ohtani right here. This is the reason why this guy is a unicorn. Let me tell you, when batters are in a slump, you get a little concerned about your swing. You want to see pitches, you want to take pitches, you want to wait for the perfect pitch to swing the bat. This guy, when he's in a slump, he don't care. He go out there and swing, Kevin. He's not thinking about, okay, let me see a pitch, let me see a strike. I'm going to get out of my slump my way. And that's why this guy is a unicorn, the only one on his way.
You know, Poppy, I was talking to some of my scouts, Jeter, maybe some of the ones you were talking about. And in January, they come out to Dodger Stadium, a group of the guys that live in LA. And because he wasn't pitching, he spent an extra 3 weeks just working on his legs and his bottom half. And he wanted to recover his elbow. But as a result, obviously, he said, I'm a much better hitter today because I don't have to worry about pitching. And he's shown that, I mean, he really is. He might be underrated, fellas.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and he's fun to watch. I mean, it's like all eyes are on Shohei Ohtani when he's on the field. He reminds me of when I came up watching Ken Griffey Jr. You take the field, and even if you're competing against him, you stop and you watch him. And Ohtani's the same way. I mean, and he's not pitching. People forget. The guy's one of the best pitchers in baseball as well, and you're not seeing that side of him, but he's focused on offense, and he's trying to do damage. To your point, David, he's not trying to get a hit the other way. He's finding his pitch, and he's trying to do damage, and when he's in the zone like he is now, it's immediate runs for the Dodgers.
You know what's interesting is you see his emotions, and you've seen it throughout October. We saw this kid for many, many years with Anaheim. I never saw that once. So it tells you he loves the experience, and he's good at it. But the home run, Kevin, what's interesting about that is the ramifications of that. He sets the tone. Then the next 3 at-bats, he walks. The Dodgers drew 9 walks today. The challenge with that is instead of facing these guys 3 or 4 times, you end up facing them, you flip the lineup over, you end up facing them 5 and 6 times, like Mookie Betts had 6 at-bats, Ohtani had 6 at-bats.
But you never saw him because he was never in the postseason.
He wasn't winning.
You have to be in this position for someone to see you.
I tell you what, you're talking about the comp to Ken Griffey Jr. in that Mookie Betts 2-run double in the 4th inning. He was rounding third and scoring. He looked like he was jogging, but he was flying.
Yeah,
like absolutely flying. It's just so effortless to watch him play baseball. But they weren't the only 2 for the Dodgers tonight. Max Muncy set a new playoff record. Talking about reaching base, consecutive plate appearances, 12. Look at what he did here. I mean, that's just awesome for Muncy. Finally struck out late in the game to end that. But he's been great. I mean, and again, another one kind of in that Dodger way, Alex, where doesn't care if it's a walk or a home run. He's more than happy just to get on base any way he can. That's impressive. 12 in a row for him.
You know what's impressive? He hasn't smiled once. He's all business. He's all business, and I love it.
Jason Yamby prototype.
And the thing is, he's not happy until the title is won. He walks. He takes pitches. Again, he's not trying to be your best friend. He's just trying to kick you-know-what every single night, and he's doing it.
About time. And let me tell you guys, sometimes people don't realize the importance of players getting on base continuously.
Oof.
I mean, you put pressure on the pitchers. You give some freedom to the batters because the concentration when you are pitching with somebody on base is different than when you are pitching with nobody on base. So that helped that ball club so much, especially a ball club that is not out there chasing bad pitchers, D.
Yeah, and it rubs off on the rest of the lineup. The Dodgers lineup wants to get on base. When you're in the postseason and you have a pitcher in trouble and there's traffic inning after inning, it becomes draining. It becomes mentally draining. That's when pitchers make mistakes. And Max Muncy sets the tone for this Dodgers team because his job is to get on base. Doesn't make a difference if he gets a hit, if he draws a walk. And he's been doing an unbelievable job.
Hey, Poppy, you had a guy in Dustin Pedroia. You had Johnny Damon. You had Bill Miller. They made you and Manny better. I was fortunate enough to have the captain in Johnny Damon that made Teixeira, myself, and the MVP of the 09 World Series, Matsui. It wasn't because of us. It was because of them getting on base. The power of watching pitches, the discipline. You've talked about it all October. Hitting's contagious. So is a disciplined hitter. And this is a disciplined team that's hungry and focused.
You got to give them credit because that's a really good lineup, and they can do a lot of different things. You know, this is a team that controls the strike zone as well as anybody in the league. And not only they do that, but when they force you in the zone, they can do some damage. And they've done that. They did it again today. They control the strike zone. They forced Quintana to come in the strike zone, and when he did, they made him pay. Our starters are one of the reasons we're here, and we haven't got length out of them. They got them, and here we are now.
You know what's great? When it's cold out to begin with and you're getting water from hosing down the infield on you. It's really, it's just fantastic.
They don't need that feeling till tomorrow night, Kevin.
I mean, I just didn't really need that at this juncture in time. You know what I mean? All right, so Carlos Mendoza talking about exactly the Dodgers. You guys talked about it, right? You talked about the approach and how it's going to be difficult for Quintana because he's going to want them, he's going to nibble, he's going to want them to chase, and they don't chase. So we learned that David Peterson, the lefty, will start for the Mets tomorrow against Jack Flaherty, their ace. But how's it going to be any different for the Mets, Derek? How are they going to change that tomorrow in a do-or-die Game 5 for them?
Score runs and score a lot of them and score early. We keep talking about it's not necessarily on the Mets pitching staff. The Mets need to come out and score and give their pitchers some breathing room because you can't go out there on the mound thinking that you can't make a mistake. If you go out there, you're pitching defensively. Now, this team the Dodgers did exactly what we talked about prior to the game. They do not chase out of the zone. They force the Mets to throw strikes. When they throw strikes, they do damage. But tomorrow, the mindset has to be if you're the New York Mets, you must come out here and score early.
That's got tanked up right there. But you say it all. You know, 9 runs in 4 games, 33 less on base, 4 for 27 with run and score position. I mean, come on, man. How you gonna make it happen? I mean, you have to give some support to your pitchers. You have to make them feel comfortable. And if you don't score wrong, it's not gonna happen.
You know, if you're the Mets, you got to look for anything positive in tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to come very quickly. And they hit a home run early, so they got on the board, right, with a Vientos home run to right center. But here's the deal. They left 12 men on base. They had opportunities. To beat the Dodgers, you can't walk 9 hitters and you can't leave 12 men on base. You need an early inning, breakthrough. And they had bases loaded a couple times, and they couldn't come through. And here come the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, today it's already tomorrow. How about that? It's already Friday. So that game.
Today's tomorrow?
Yeah, today is
You
tomorrow.
sound like me.
If you have no belief, you shouldn't be here. You know, you got to believe. You got to fight for what we want. You know, for what you want, you got to fight for it. And at the end of the day, it comes down to one day at a time and executing. You know, we have an amazing opportunity, and that's a winning a big league game in National League Championship Series. So we got to come out, we got to execute, and we got to play the game better than they do.
Well, he's not wrong, but how do they do that, Alex? What do you think?
Well, listen, if you're the Mets, fellas, you said it best. You have no choice. You got to win one game at a time. You would always say that when we played. But if you're the Mets, you got to look at it like this and be optimistic. You win tomorrow, and Peterson, tomorrow, right? You win tomorrow. Game 6, you can almost guarantee yourself a Game 7 because you have your best pitcher, Muny, going against bullpen, and then anything can happen Game 7, but it starts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Can't win 3 games in one day. There's one game you can play, and you have to be better than them. But it's simple. You have to score early. You have to score a lot because if you fall behind, you can forget about it. Your season is going to be over. This Dodgers team is very confident. They're very balanced. They're hitting on all cylinders, and they're pitching well. You must score early.
Look, guys, sometimes when you are against the wall, you discover your best weapon. And the Mets are about to find out tomorrow because they got no way to run. So they got to bring everything they got tomorrow, Kevin. They had to bring everything they got so they can go game by game if the Dodgers stop what they got going on as of right now.